Hey everybody, this is Dominique with Black Girl Reviews, and I am back with Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion part 1 and 2. I thought it would be best to do it all in one video because the first part wasn't giving nothing, or it wasn't giving nothing. And the second part wasn't really giving much either, but Ralph and Drew's drama. So I'm glad I'm about to put them both together. Okay? And let's get right on into it, okay? All right, the first thing I noticed was that Andy didn't walk around like he normally do and go into people's dressing rooms and ask them, "Are you ready for the reunion? Like, what you ready to do? Like, who you ready to talk to?" You know how he like to prep them and get the juice, get a little messy before the reunion start. He didn't do that this year, and I was like, He just started right up. Sheree, they all sat down pretty much on the couch, and Sheree admits that she got a nose job for breathing issues. Girl, why people just can't just admit to what they got done? Just say, yeah, I did it, and what? Yeah, I got my nose done, and what? What can they say? Just say you got your nose done. Don't say it because, when I went to... First of all, when you go get something done for breathing issues, that person does not do cosmetic surgery, and from what I'm hearing, okay? I could be wrong, but the same person that will help you with your breathing issues is not the same person that will give you a rhino. Okay? Two different people. Okay? Allegedly. Because I'm not sure. That's what I heard on the street. This ain't the streets are talking, but that's what I heard. Okay? Alright, Sanya is due Christmas Day. She was happy. Everybody's like, oh, congratulations, so cute. I guess they didn't know that she was pregnant again. Sheree and Martell are not dating anymore due to the mess that he was putting her in. She said, "Oh, I pulled back from Martell because of the mess." But we still cool, we still talk, and we still hang out. Pretty much what y'all was doing anyway. Y'all not dating, but y'all still hang out and y'all still talk. So, which I was already doing. Kenya brings up the whole, did you know that he did the revenge PORN on Melody Holt, Melody Cherie now? And, she tries to ignore that. Well, I don't know what's going on. I don't really know what's going on. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing when it comes to you, okay? Then they asked Kenya about her divorce. She said it's still ongoing. They said, why is it still ongoing? She said, he filed that I was in contempt of court. And then also saying that, I'm not letting him see Brooklyn when he haven't even seen Brooklyn in 2 years. Then the whole Marlo kicking down her door and Brooklyn was in the room. He's trying to say that, she put Brooklyn in a dangerous situation. And then Marlo's like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry for putting Brooklyn in the middle of our bull crap. So yeah, that's my bad." And Kenya was like, "Girl, what? What are you trying to say?" "Well, if you don't know what I'm trying to say, I don't know what to tell you. Girl, please. Then they bring up the whole Martell not paying for Sheree's birthday dinner, and then Sheree kind of mumbles and fumbles and was like, well actually, so let me tell you, Andy, if I was inviting you to my birthday dinner and then I invited you to my birthday dinner, then I would expect," and Andy was like, "for you to pay, right?" She was like, "Huh?" He was like, "Oh, I thought that's where you was going with it. You was gonna pay since you invited everybody to dinner." "Oh, well, no, Andy, no, that's not what I was gonna say." Of course, that's not what she was gonna say. Why would she say she was gonna pay? Anybody was gonna pay but her. She was a little stunned, and then Andy was like, "Sheree, you have a real sticky situation when it comes to bills." And she was like, "What you mean by that? I ain't like it. I'm not like Kandi, who don't be paying people like Johnny." She bringing up this dude from 2-3 years ago who claimed that Kandi and Todd stole his idea for the restaurants that they're making, which he went to Phaedra at the time, who was trying to get back at Kandi at the time, and it was baseless. I don't even think he actually sued. She was like, "I'm not getting this is charade. I'm not getting sued like Kandi, who ain't paying people like Kandi, like Johnny." And then Kandi was like, "Girl, you and everybody know that the premise of my restaurant is based off of my aunts and my mama. So don't even try it. Don't even try to say that I'm stealing anybody's idea. How am I steal somebody's idea when this is my mama and my aunt? How?" Then Sheree pulls out this little pamphlet with She News. She News. She passes it around like, "Here, everybody, here's the pamphlet. Here's the pamphlet." And they flipping through the pamphlet, and it's literally all about Kandi. Every single page is about Kandi. The first half of the She News was about Kandi's restaurants and all of the bad reviews. Then the last part of the page was about Kandi's boutique tag, and how on Shein the dress was this amount, but at tag is this amount. I instantly thought, she really got Anthony, the gay guy that's messy and that was throwing shoes at Drew, to help her gather all this information up about Kandi, because she's still mad that Kandi said she in by Sheree or something like that. She by she in. That's what she said. She in by she in. I mean, she by she in. That's what she said. So Sheree is trying to get her get back for what Kandi said at the beginning of the season, after they had a whole conversation and they haven't even brought it up. But yet she coming to the reunion and bringing a pamphlet that she had printed out, probably at freaking FedEx. Like, if it was Kinko's still around, I would have said Kinko's, but probably at FedEx, had it printed out, stapled, and everything, and ready for the reunion. Like, girl, like Kandi said, you put all this effort that you did to make She News and get all this details and all this information on me. You could have used that same effort on your own business, because I think I don't know if it was at this moment, but Andy asked Sheree, "Is her business profiting yet?" And she was like, "Well, Andy, it's still, growing. I'm still working on it. It's only been this is still the first year, and we're still trying, and we're still working out the kinks and all that." And here comes Sanya. "Well, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen." Girl, shut up, Sanya. Shut up. Sit there and look cute and be pregnant. Shut up. So Andy asked Kandi, how did she feel about Drew saying, for after this movie, she's only doing Lifetime and above. And Kandi said, "Of course it hurt. Of course it hurt." And then Drew was like, "Well, I'm just gonna be honest that, when the offer came through to my agent passed on it because the offer was low." And here come Marlo and Sheree. "I heard she only paid her $10,000 to do the movie." Ooh. And then here goes Sheree. "Did you only get paid $10,000 to do the movie?" And then Kandi was like, first of all, she got paid way more than $10,000 to do the movie. But apparently the rate that they was trying to pay her was lower than what her agent normally accepts, because they denied it at first. And then Todd called Drew and like pretty much plead to her the case and what was going on. This is an independent film, blah, 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 blah. Please help me and Kandi to do the do. Then the whole Drew kissing Toya comes up, and she was like, "Yeah, I still think that Kandi was trying to use this to promote the film," and blah, blah, blah. Kandi was like, "Girl, this happened 2 years ago before even a film was even thought of. Why would I try to use you kissing Toya as promotion for the film and all this and all that?" And they going back and forth, and she was like, "You stupid little." Kandi was going off on Drew, really. It was going back and forth about it. Drew still denies kissing her, kissing the girl, and they going back and forth. And then after they was done going back and forth, Drew leans over to Kandi. We're good, right? We're good? See, this is why people say that you're acting, Drew. Like, this is why Ralph can throw them digs that, Drew, you're acting right now. Because you do stuff like this. You go hard on somebody about a situation and then want to look at them and say, we're good, right? We're good? No, we ain't good. Girl, what? No, we're not good. Okay, then they go on a little break and then Marlo over there taking pictures with Sanya and Sheree, and then she gonna come out, look at them broke, jealous, pretty girls over there. Talking about they need to get their money up. Huh? You said broke, pretty girls. Who is broke? Kandi, the richest one on the stage. Kenya, whose business is profiting and she's actually growing her business. Drew, she just got paid from Todd and Kandi to do that movie, and she still got music out here, so maybe she profiting off of that. So what are you talking about? So they bring out Courtney and Monyetta, and they sit down on the couch or whatever. They ask Courtney, how are you related to Ralph? She says her dad's sister is married to Ralph's uncle. Her dad's sister, so her auntie, why you didn't say that? My auntie is married to Ralph's uncle. And your auntie, your grown auntie is married to Ralph's uncle. Your auntie, my auntie, let me just pick it like that. My auntie is married to somebody else's uncle. Y'all not related. Girl, y'all are not cousins. My auntie gets married to somebody, a new man, and then he has a child. No, it's not even his child. My auntie gets married to somebody's uncle, and his uncle has a nephew, and then my auntie has me as a niece. Girl. Please stop. Okay. All right. So now we're moving on because I cannot. Really. So okay, they asked Kenya, why were you so worried that Roy went on a date with Marlo? And she was like, oh, it wasn't a date. You know, they went to Taco Bell in the middle of the day. Is that really a date? And he was like, yeah, it sounds like a date to me. Well, according to, I wouldn't consider it as a date because Marlo's dates usually end with money on the dresser. And then Sanya was so offended. The only person that was so offended was Sanya, like, oh God. No. She was more offended than Marlo. Like, girl, Sanya, calm down. Like, calm it down. Calm it down. They get on the whole Monyetta explaining collusion and why she felt like it was a collusion and all of, she was like, well, they was trying to say, you need to be on our side. You need to, if it's between us and Drew, whose side are you on? And then Courtney was like, oh, of course I'm going to be on your side, of course. And then all the girls on one couch was like, nah, we wasn't colluding. It wasn't even like that. No. Mm-mm. And then Sheree was like, what? Why would she say, I've been knowing Courtney for like 20 years. Girl, you don't know Courtney. You don't know Courtney. and get over yourself. So they moved on. I don't even care about what else happened. Marlo talks about everybody. He gets Andy gets Marlo to pretty much talk about everybody's outfit. She like pretty much she liked Kenya's not Kenya. She likes Candy's outfit. I don't know if she liked Monyetta's outfit. She called it Sunday's best, but she didn't say I don't consider that, too bad. She went in on Drew's outfits and it wasn't fitting well. And then she said she liked everybody on her side of the couch, of course. And then Kenya called Marlo's outfit Miss looked like she looked like Miss Roper from Two's Company, Grease Company, whatever that show was. That was before my time. But I looked at the picture and I thought it was spot on. And then Courtney and Drew gets into it, and she was like, "You better not ever bring up my son." This is Drew. "You better not ever bring up my son." And then Courtney, what you gonna do? 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 And then it went off. Stupid, right? Of course, I forgot to say Drew threw a plum at Courtney's legs and was like, "You're not gonna get no peace, so this is the best you're gonna get in there." Marlo was like, "You better not stop throwing stuff at me. You better not throw nothing else over here. You know." And then this is so stupid. And then Andy picks up the plum and bites it after it's been on the floor, been rolling around on the floor, rolling in her purse somewhere. Came from where? Probably the freaking bodega in New York. She probably had one of her assistants run down and go get this plum from the bodega, and it's been just running around and floating in her purse all day. So as you can see, the first part was lackluster. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the second part, and they are picking up where they left off with Courtney and Drew going back and forth. Courtney said, she was cheating. She believes that Drew was having an affair. Drew feels like she's being coached by Ralph this whole season, which is true. And then they asked her, Drew, about Ty, and she was like, "Yeah, I went to the Dallas game. So what? So what? I went to the game. So what?" And Sheree pulls out some receipts that was dropped off at her house by someone she doesn't know. I guess they just had access to go straight to her door, ring the doorbell, ding, put the envelope down and run with printouts of text messages allegedly coming from Drew's phone. And Andy reads it and he's like, "Oh, this is pretty damning. This is pretty damning. This looks like something, blah, 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 blah." And, pretty much Drew says, "Oh, she got it from Ralph or Courtney." And Courtney's like, "Oh, no, I wouldn't. I'm not somebody that gave it to her, no." Girl, please. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I believe it was Ralph the whole time because, he been beating the IRS for years." Girl, you trying to get the IRS to call up Ralph and get him in jail, girl? Girl. So Sheree also talked about why she did She News. And she was like, "I did She News because Kandi's been talking about me all season long and all on her, because they brought up Kandi doing Speak On It and bashing her co-workers. And Sheree was like, "Yeah, that's the reason why I did She News, because she's always talking about me." Girl, it's a recap. It's a recap. Get you a recap and you can talk about her. Then they break. Courtney gets off the stage. She goes backstage to see Ralph. She changes into her outfit. She gives Ralph a hug, and the hand just goes from the back of his neck to all the way around to his arms, and she squeezes his arm, and she's looking at him eye to eye, like, "Hey, Ralph, oh, yeah, oh, how was it? Oh, the truth is a liar." She didn't do all that, but in my mind, she did. In that moment, I was like, "Oh, they ain't cousins." That's why she made up this big old lie. My auntie is married to Ralph's uncle. Girl, please. No. Somebody did research and said that she lived in Tampa And that's the reason why I think Drew said that in the reunion. I think she did. She said, "Oh, yeah," and she's the reason she lived in Tampa. That's the reason why he went to Tampa and he didn't want to say nothing. And then the following year or a year or two later, now this girl from Tampa who just happened to be your cousin, who happened to be Sheree's friend for years, even though how is that your friend for years when you lived in Tampa? Oh, and that's probably why they said that she don't have a house and she's sleeping on her baby daddy couch. Because she lives in Tampa. She does not live in Atlanta. She came all the way from Tampa to expose Drew for Ralph. What? Mind is blown, okay? Mind blown. All right. All right. So we move on to everybody gets back in on the couch. Sanya talks about losing her baby. And then a month later getting a new baby. Getting pregnant again. And she was talking about her experience, and then somehow she has to bring it back around to Kenya. Everybody was so supportive. People was calling me and texting me and sending me flowers. Marlo sent me flowers and sent me Uber Eats. But you, Kenya, I'm very disappointed in you because you just dismissed it. Like, you did not care. And Kenya was like, no, I called you. Yeah, I didn't get an answer, but I called you. And she was like, no, you didn't. I didn't get a call. And Kenya shut that down and was like, oh, well, I'm sorry that you felt that way. And, I'm very happy for you and your family. And I hope, you have a successful pregnancy. And, I'm proud of you. I'm glad you and your family are growing, pretty much. And she got shut down. So you got to be better. If you want to go head to head with Kenya, you got to be 4 steps forward. Like, you let her apologize and just like, that was it. And then Kenya, they asked Kenya about her pregnancy journey, and she was like, you know what, I decided to just go ahead and adopt. Thank you, Lord, because you do not need a baby with Mark, another baby with Mark. No, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, you do not need another baby with Mark. No, ma'am. Mm-mm-mm. So then somehow they got on to Sonya's event, her Mommy Nation event, and how she didn't show up on time or whatever. And King was like, girl, I'm doing this for free. You lucky I even showed up anyway. And you need to stop worrying about me when your friends next to you wasn't even trying to pay or donate any type of money. And Marlo was like, and Marlo and Sonya, Sheree was like, no, we donated. Oh, our funds went through. I did not hear Sonya agreed to the funds going through. She just looked to the side and said nothing. She was very quiet, very on mute. But apparently, they funds went through. They just didn't want to raise the paddle because Kenya was doing it. How childish are you? Y'all are almost 50 years old or 50 years old in your 50s. I know Saray is in her 50s. And you're telling me you're at a fundraiser for a very good cause. You don't want to raise your paddle in front of everyone because you don't want to do it because of Kenya. Girl, please. Y'all paid what y'all wanted to pay. Like, everybody else was paying $5,000 here, $5,000 there. Y'all was like, I'm paying no $5,000. I'm gonna send her because I know Sheree ain't got no $5,000 to be sending nobody. Okay, so I know she didn't send no $5,000. She probably sent maybe $1,000, if that, maybe $500. But she didn't send no $5,000. And sure no, I know Marlo didn't either. So allegedly, which y'all ain't coming from me, but I know they didn't do that. Allegedly. Okay. So they were like, yeah, we did it. We paid. Our funds went through, right, Sanya? Our funds went through. She just sat there. We just didn't want to do it because you were doing the event. So childish. Kandi talks about the Wiz and what she has going on, and then they bring up the shooting at Blaze and or Old Lady Gang, wherever it was at, and she was like, they was like, why you want to talk about it? And she was like, I did talk about it. I just didn't understand why they were trying to make a big deal out of it. If it was me, everything's a big deal. But if it's like, for example, Sheree, when her website crashed and you couldn't get nothing, no one brought that up. Sheree said, "But you did, you did, you did." Girl, you knew what she was trying to say. She said nobody besides her. Yeah, and she only did that because you brought it up. She said something online, but she didn't say nothing on the show until you brought it up. So Kandi pretty much just said she just thinks that they just jealous of her success, and I believe it. And that's all I got to say about that, because they just jealous of her success. All right, then we bring out Ralph to the stage. Drew gives Ralph a peach because he literally wants to be a girl, clearly, because he's doing the most. They ask Ralph and Drew questions. Drew don't want to answer it. Kenya was like, "Girl, you gotta answer this. Girl, you gotta answer that." They said Andy asked if Ralph was faithful during the whole marriage, and he said yes. They asked Drew the same thing. She said yes. Then Ralph asked, "What about Ty?" And then Kandi and Kenya both agreed that, she did come up with the whole, "Oh yeah, Ty is my crush," and she was telling her assistant, that one that she was telling her assistant that I'm only going to do lifetime or above. Told her assistant that, and her assistant went around and telling everybody else that. Then Drew pulls out her phone to show Andy a girl that texts Ralph her booty, a big booty, and was like, "I need that D." And then he was like, "What do you got to say about this?" And he was like, "Oh, that's catfish. She's catfish. She's not. She's fake. That's fake." I be getting catfished a lot, and then then Ralph pretty much said that Drew was sleeping with multiple women in a relationship. Drew said Ralph was getting his D sucked all around the world. Ralph didn't deny it, but he said that don't make sense because I haven't even been around the world. Drew starts crying, acting like she's so distraught about the marriage, and Ralph didn't have nothing to say because Drew was hitting him with the facts, and then he was like, "Drew, you're acting right now." So she gets up, "I'm so tired of this. Oh, I'm so sick." Oh, I have a napkin. "Oh, I'm so sick of this. Oh, I'm out of here." She goes in the back. She's crying. Sanya goes to check on her. Kenya was like, "Ralph, you act just like Mark. You do the same thing Mark be doing. You ain't no different than Mark. You be gaslighting her. If you really wanted to be in this marriage, you wouldn't have done the things, say the things that you do. You wouldn't even be saying that, oh, everybody call you a B word." And Ralph was just like, "Oh, really? Oh, how long have you been married?" And she was like, 2 years. So what? Then I don't negate what I feel and my feelings and what I went through. Ralph was just quiet. Drew comes back out. She's done. They both agree that they want to, reconcile. They both want to get back into this marriage, but I don't see that happening. The fact that they still live together, and how awkward is that? They communicate. Then Drew gets up to sing a song to Ralph, one of her newest, latest songs about breakups, and it was awkward. Everybody was just like, then Ralph leaves, and they do a toast. They get their glasses. They toast to the end of the season and love and light and working on their friendship and yada yada yada. And yeah, that's pretty much it. End of that. I'll give this season a C. Overall, it was very lackluster. I'm glad this reunion wasn't 3 parts. It did not need 3 parts at all. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm ready for Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine. I know they about to give what needs to be gave. Okay. I'm so excited. In the meantime, before they come on, I'm gonna do some Streets of Talking videos. Maybe do some updates on different shows that I've given up on, like New York. I didn't give up on them. I'm still watching it, but they're boring. Honestly, they don't deserve each episode recap. You know. So I might just do like okay, overall this is how I feel about them and different little parts that caught my eye. I might do that, and of course someone already said that she was talking, right? Yeah. All right, that's all I got, you guys. I'm gonna keep it short and simple. Please like, subscribe, comment, share my content with your friends, family, coworkers, anybody that loves Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let me know down below how you felt about this season, how you felt about the part 1 and part 2 of the reunion. Did you like it? What part did you like? Do you believe that Drew cheated on Ralph? Do you think Ralph cheated on Drew? Or y'all think both of them just some bona fide cheaters? I think they both bona fide cheaters. I think Ralph cheated first, Drew cheated second, and they just cheaters. You know? Yeah, that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.